But you got to play the hand that you dealt with.
So Dallas is going to have a short bench tonight, and that is something that Latricia Trammell and her staff have talked extensively about, managing minutes to be able to get production off their bench. And Elizabeth Williams wins the tip. Here is Marina Mabry. Started out hot on Wednesday in the first half. Suarez got a piece of it. It'll belong to the Sky, trying to dump it down low to Angel Reese. Do you think that Chicago wants to attack Stephanie Suarez?
I do. I think they want to see what she's made of. They want to see if they can get her out of position defensively and perhaps get their bigs out of the game early.
Maddie Seegers, they try to get it inside to Diamond DeShields. Pull up 15, DeShields got a piece of it. Diamond DeShields coming off the knee injury last year, did not play. Her minutes are going to be managed. She told me before the game, I'm just glad I'm playing. Mabry for three. Back of the iron, long shot, long rebound. That should have been a travel. And it is.
Always get your side gig as officiating, Ron. Good call.
Yeah, well, Angelica Sufford is our crew chief. Charles Watson, the referee. Bianca Burns, the umpire. Three outstanding officials. Now the Wings, they started out slowly in the first 5 minutes on Wednesday night. They can't afford to do that tonight.
No, you got to come into your house, establish dominance in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
Evans on Ceeb. They get it down inside. Tierra McCowan.
That's nice. Great seal by Tierra McCowan and a perfect pass down low.
Coming off that double-double. 18 points, 13 rebounds Wednesday. She had 17 of those last year. Sixth best in the WNBA. DeShields, a little strong. Ceeb Uzun, the rookie out of Turkey, comes down with a rebound. Now, Ceeb is excited. I gave her 4 Turkish restaurants, believe it or not, in Arlington. She got her fill of Turkish food yesterday. She's pumped tonight.
You got to share that list.
Yeah.
So many great things about this. First of all, the pass, but you got to have the right hands to make that work, and that's good hands by McCowan to put up for the bucket.
Well, Ceeb had 3 assists Wednesday night in her WNBA debut. Here is Enrique on Diamond. Shot clock inside of 5. Enrique hangs in the air, can't get it.
Nice. I like the little give and go. Didn't just stand there. Relocation by Gubawale, very nice.
Diamond DeShields in her 6th year out of Tennessee. Spent 1 year in North Carolina. That'll be the 2nd travel call against Chicago. And of course, the injured player, there is Natasha Howard. You know, you talked to the players yesterday. She played almost the entire game with that broken foot. There's Jaylen Brown and Satou Sabally. She hurt it in the first quarter.
To the point that we didn't even know when she hurt her foot.
Yeah.
Because she played so much longer, and then, of course, they were able to identify when it probably happened. We'll probably see that later, but kudos to Howard.
This is what Marina Mabry does so well. Pushes on transition. Nice dish inside. No. Rejection big time by Tierra McCowan. Mabry, beautiful dish inside. Reese can't get it, but a foul's going to be called.
Highlight after highlight on that series, but of course, it started with the big block by Tierra McCowan.
35 blocks last season for McCowan. And the rookie got a little piece of that. And here is Angel Reese. When you break down her numbers at LSU, what really stands out, she averaged 8 free throw attempts in college. That's impressive.
Yeah, and that's why a lot of her fans and detractors were saying, you've got to shoot better free throw. You got to have a better free throw percentage because she's going to get to the basket and she's going to be fouled.
Case in point, she was just 2 of 8 in the first meeting between these two teams in front of a sold-out crowd on Wednesday night. Uzun back down low. Tierra McCowan, the reverse, no. Here comes Mabry. Boy, Reese got down quickly down to the right block. Marina, the floater, no. McCowan pulls it away. Dallas 1 of 4 shooting. Enrique, nothing but the bottom of the net.
Stop it. I mean, that was so high, it was like in the clouds.
And she started slowly on Wednesday, but didn't finish slowly. Had an incredible fourth quarter. Diamond DeShields rolls it over the front of the rim.
I know Dr. DeShields is nursing an injury. Teresa Weatherspoon said she's trying to get her back slowly, but she's one of the most dynamic scorers in this league. Can't wait to see her at full speed.
I tell you, so much fun talking to her the last couple of days as Enrique launches no. The word that comes to mind for Diamond is grateful, and she'll get the easy layup.
Yes.
You know, I was kidding her before the game. I said, you know, Diamond, you look a little tired on Wednesday. She goes, I was beat.
Gassed.
Yeah, she was gassed, but she goes, I'm glad I'm gassed. That means I'm playing.
I think this is a good fit for her at Chicago again. It's her repeat appearance in the Sky uniform, but it's a good place for her.
She played in front of her brother the other night, former Texas Ranger. Wings turn it over. That's going to be the third travel call against the Skies. J.C. Sheldon will check into the game. The first-round pick this season from Ohio State for the Wings.
Enrique Ogunbowale, this is her at her best. Now, I mean, look, they almost touched the scoreboard, almost touched the video board. Ron Thulin, that's how high that was. Beautiful shot.
It was up there. Kennedy Carter out of Mansfield Timberview High School is checked into the lineup for Chicago. Again, they're going to be watching the minutes of Diamond DeShields. She played 18 on Wednesday. That's going to be a foul.
Tough defense right there.
That's going to be on Tierra McCowan. That'll be her first. And we mentioned there is Emmy. That's the sister and the mom of J.C. Sheldon and the father. Emmy is her biggest cheerleader. They've made their way down from Ohio. J.C. telling me yesterday she is so excited to be able to watch her big sister play. Here is Mabry with a scoop. Suarez had it. Mabry, beautiful dish to Williams.
You got to make Mabry give up the basketball, not only in transition, which we'll talk about another possession, but you've got to make her give up the basketball. She sees the court too well. Good things happen.
The newest member of the Dallas Wings is McCowan misses the easy shot. Monique Billings will check into the lineup. Next break in the action. And here is Kennedy Carter back in the W. Rejected by Suarez. And that'll be a foul, not a travel. Fans wanted the feet moving. Charles Watson says no.
And she did travel after the foul.
Yeah, there you go.
Foul. This is the activity of the defensive Wings. Nice block by Suarez. Trying to get that R out, Ron.
Yeah, I know. That's her first WNBA block, by the way, but I was kidding her. I said, I'm working on it.
Working on that name.
This Pittsburgh accent has problems with that slurring of the R.
Suarez.
Yeah. Angel Reese. And you see Kalani Brown's going to come into the lineup, and she is going to be joined by Monique Billings, the 28-year-old out of UCLA. Played for the Atlanta Dream the last 6 seasons, signed with LA in February, and she was released by LA the final day of cuts. She is an exceptional person when you talk about her. She's already tweeted out, Dallas fans, here's what you're going to get from me. Hustle.
Yeah.
Number one word.
Plays hard. That's her brand. Completely on brand. Everybody knows that about her. Teammates know it. GMs around the league know it.
Kalani back to Enrique, working on Kennedy Carter. Enrique, hesitation, the scoop off the glass. Kalani Brown, count it.
Big girl working the offside board. You have to clear that out as the offense is working on the opposite side. Great rebound by Kalani Brown. So many great things here, but the pickup happens because she positioned herself to get that rebound and one. Which league you're in will tell you if you don't rebound, you don't have a chance to win ball games. It's very difficult to win ball games because it's a possession game. The team that rebounds gets the ball more, dictates more of the tempo.
And it leads to second chance points, and right now Chicago's got 6 of their 10 on second chance. Inside of 4:40 to play, Mabry on Suarez. 4 to shoot. Here is Carter. Carter, the quick pull-up, the 3 didn't hit anything. That'll be a shot clock violation.
That's good defense. You look at Kennedy Carter, has taken 2 shots that have been kind of off balance. That's good defense by Dallas.
That's already 5 turnovers for the Chicago Sky. They had 14 in game one, and that was a big difference because those 14 turnovers by Chicago, that led to 24 Wings points. Kalani Brown trying to get it into Billings, and she's going to be fouled by Reese.
Mo Billings there, the vet, with the flash in the lane. Had the defense on her backside. Great position, met the pass, which caused a foul.
And again, the Wings down only by 2. Neither team shooting well. Both have only made 3 field goal attempts. Sheldon, the floater in front of her family, got it. Emmy likes it. That is her second WNBA basket. Here is Mabry. We were talking before the game about the battle she had with Enrique. She goes, it was physical. Carter inside, leans in. That's pretty for Kennedy Carter.
Kennedy Carter with the drive, absorbing the contact. The vet out of Texas A&M is glad to be back in the league.
Shifty, quick, and explosive.
Gotta have a better pass.
Kalani Brown behind Enrique. Marina for 3. Suarez pulls down the rebound. Enrique saw that Turner was on her, and she nails the 3.
Beautiful. We saw her warming up before the game. I said, let's catch this form. Beautiful shot by Enrique Agubuale.
Bree Turner came out to guard her. Enrique saw that and took advantage of it. Evans for 3, no.
Nice look.
Sheldon's going to be stripped. Third member of our broadcast team will be roaming the sidelines tonight, Siobhan Herndon. Siobhan, tell us more about Monique Billings.
Yeah, because of the injuries to Natasha Howard and Jalen Brown, the Dallas Wings were able to sign Monique Billings to a hardship contract. She just arrived last night, went through her physical process, and then went with the team this morning through shoot-around. Ron and Fran, she tells me, and she tells all of the Dallas Wings fans, she's going to bring it every night. She's going to hustle on both ends of the court, win, and if her number is called, and as we see right now, she's in the game.
Kalani Brown doing what Kalani Brown does well, just battles inside.
Bang, bang.
Kalani knew she didn't get a whole lot of minutes on Wednesday, but she knew she had to be ready for tonight.
No, I was just saying that's half the battle. It's just being ready when your number's called. LT says she likes Kalani Brown coming off the bench, and she's doing well.
Well, the Wings are going to return home on Wednesday, June 5th to face the defending WNBA champion Las Vegas Aces. You don't want to miss the rematch of last year's semifinal showdown between Asia Wilson, Kelsey Plum, and Enrique and Natasha. You can get your tickets at DallasWings.com. Now, I got to tell you, tickets are limited. Wings on a 10-6 run. They lead by 3. Inside of 2:45 to play in the first. Carter gets nailed by Billings. She goes down hard. Williams goes down hard. Sheldon for 3. And Billings commits the foul.
Dallas had a 5-on-3 fast break. They have held the basketball just a little too long. Two teammates open, lots of dribbling.
But when you're playing a team for the second time, you know they're going to come out with a lot of fire. You've got to take that margin of error and increase it by doing the little things like scoring in transition when you have a person advantage.
And going to the boards, as you mentioned before, you got to get some O boards.
Boy, Billings is putting a body on Reese, and they're punishing each other. Kalani Brown got down. Williams quickly covered her up. Here is Enrique on Carter. No, and Kennedy Carter will commit the foul. I tell you what, it's already getting a little chippy.
It's getting very chippy. Those are two great athletes, two great players in Carter and Agubuale going against one another. Very similar players. And I love that Enrique is adding another dimension to her game, doing it a little bit more in the game, and that's taking the ball to the hole, getting the defense on her hip, and drawing the foul.
Enrique now 2 free throw makes away from tying Glory Johnson for number 4 all-time Wings history. She already is the all-time leading scorer, broke that record last season, set by Skylar Diggins-Smith. One more to go. Came in also 2 steals away to number 4 in Wings history. I'm going to go on the limb and say she's going to own all the records when it's all said and done.
That's a safe bet.
Lou Lopez Seneschal has checked into the lineup. Another rookie out of Grenoble, France. And we know her parents are staying up late to watch the game tonight, as is Stephanie Suarez's parents in Brazil, and Ceeb Uzun's parents, Metlin and Norden, in Turkey. Got an international audience.
Very much so. Very much so.
Foul was on Lou, playing only her second game. Lou, of course, sat out last year after the knee injury. Did play overseas. Came into camp about a day late, but he is back in action. Whistling a foul. That's going to be on Dallas. That may be on...
It's on Lou, I believe. Yeah.
Well, Lou picked it up.
Gave her a little bear hug.
So Lou has played 1 minute, has committed 2 fouls. And Elizabeth Williams checks into the lineup, or will be at the line, I should say. Williams, the 10th year pro out of Duke. Tonight's giveaway for fans attending the sold-out game here at the College Park Center was a special collector edition poster featuring Satou Sabally and Enrique. That's going to be a travel, and will go the other way. Stephanie Suarez will come back into the lineup. Monique Billies. We're already seeing Coach Trammell managing minutes. Gave Stephanie a little bit of a break.
Yep.
Brought Billings in, got her feet wet. Now she brings Stephanie back in.
Yeah, very important if you start to have injuries to manage those minutes.
Suarez using the frame. All 6'6" of her. Enrique backs it out. Shaking, baking. Plenty of time on the shot clock at 10. Sheldon. Kalani with 5. Kalani to Suarez inside, counted. No, they're going to call it an offensive foul.
I need to see that replay. I got to see the replay. I love that cut.
Sellout crowd doesn't like it, or the majority of them, I should say.
Okay, all right.
Now,
Thank you, replay people.
Stephanie didn't like it. Reese on Suarez, got another piece of it. That'll be another travel. I think that is number 4. But how about Stephanie Suarez with 2 blocks already tonight?
Give me that. Give me that.
Wow. Somehow I got this picture in Ames, Iowa of Bill Finley and his staff watching this game going crazy when Steph blocks a shot. Enrique goes, my bad. 41 seconds left here in the first.
It was just physical. I like that it was just physical. That Angel didn't back down, so she went back at her. Stephanie blocked it again. Love to see it.
Stephanie actually has a couple of inches on Angel Reese. Inside of 30 to play in the first. Carter.
That's nice.
Quick pull-up. That is so sweet. Can't get it to go. Nice tip by Suarez to J.C. Sheldon. Shot clock turned off. Wings have led by 5. Chicago has led by 5 here in the first. I like looking over at Izzy Harrison, now with Chicago with the Wings last year or 2 years ago. She's calling out the Wings play over there. Enrique, no, the tip, got it, what a job, Kalani Brown.
Rebounding is about positioning and getting yourself ready for what is about to happen, knowing where the ball is going. Look at the work before the shot. That's why she was able to get that rebound and get it up for the and one. Beautiful work.
Kalani had 4 points in game 1. She's got 8 already in game 2. And the Wings will go to the second quarter with their biggest lead of the contest. Kalani Brown coming off the bench, fourth quarter in that game. And so far today, they've got 4 blocks.
Pretty good defense.
Enrique played all 10 minutes of that opening quarter. Played 38 on Wednesday. Throws up the air ball, and that's something LT was telling both of us, that I got to watch her minutes.
Yeah, you got to, and she has to manage her effort on the court. You know, you're going to play the entire game. Candidly, you know, you sometimes you need to let somebody else shoot so you can keep a breather.
Boy, Mabry got loose with a little chicken wing. Stephanie Suarez the rebound. That's her second. One of the things that T-Spoon was telling us after the game on Wednesday, that she felt that the Dallas bigs got comfortable. They didn't want them to get comfortable tonight. And again, they're playing without one of them in Natasha Howard. Nice. Dribble penetration, that's pretty. Nice job by Michaela Onyenwere. She had 3 on Wednesday night. Diamond to Shields back into the lineup. Suarez looked like she got tangled up there. Whistle and a foul is going to be called. That'll be on Onyenwere. Kalani goes out. Kira McCowan comes back in. Stephanie Suarez goes out. Maddie Seegers checks back in. And again, yesterday in practice, Coach Trammell was mixing and matching every player that was available. Now, Monique Billings was not here at the time, but she was trying to make sure everybody is comfortable and knew their roles. Maddie Seegers.
Oh, Maddie.
And you actually have to go back to opening day of camp, because LT told the players, you better know minutes on Wednesday. And again, they want to be careful with her time. Seegers goes down. Sheldon slashes. She's going to be fouled. Foul's going to be on Williams. Well, the Wings are on the road next Tuesday to face the Atlanta Dream. Tip-off will be at 6:30. And you can catch all the action on Bally Sports Southwest Extra. Fran and I will be doing the game from the Wings studios.
You bring the food?
Always. Always.
You got food. You got grub duty.
Well, Bob Steinfeld, our incredible producer, and I, we got to make sure that everybody's fed. Especially on those 9 o'clock tips. There's Emmy.
Oh, my God.
Emmy's enjoying herself. Yeah, those 9 o'clock tips are tough.
Nice defense.
Sheldon, that's the quick hands that everybody thought, and then Uzan commits the foul. It's so funny talking to J.C. Sheldon yesterday, because when practice was over, she looked at me and said, Ron, Emmy's going to be here. She was so excited to have her sister here, and I said, what's her favorite thing? She goes, she likes to say, hear my words.
Let's talk about the fact that there were people at the beginning of WNBA training camp who questioned whether J.C. Sheldon would make the squad.
No.
They clearly were not in training camp.
No.
Seeing what the coaches saw and management saw, because she had an outstanding training camp.
Williams on the inside with the left hand. She's got a half a dozen. The Wings lead cut to 4. J.C. Sheldon has got a big time basketball IQ too.
They call her the Energizer Bunny here. Intensity for days.
Enrique has to give it up. Sheldon, tough fall away shot. Clicks the back of the rim. Last touch by Tierra McCowan. It'll be Chicago's ball. Well, the game on Wednesday was a real battle of the boards, and the Wings dominated. But still, so far tonight, Chicago +5 in rebounds.
Teresa Weatherspoon was talking about Dana Evans and what a great point guard she is. We haven't gotten to see that a whole lot tonight, but I like Dana Evans. I've always thought she's premier point guard in this league.
Well, you and I were talking before the game, and I said, you know, I watched her the last couple of years. I'm saying this is a starting point guard.
Yeah.
Now, she's done a great job coming off the bench, but she's got the skills and the ability to play a starting point guard spot. Nice. Tierra, you can't let her get that deep.
If you're going to play behind Tierra McCowan, yeah, lunch meat all day. She's going to take advantage of that every single possession.
Now Sheldon on Mabry. Mabry is so slick when she's one-on-one. Reese, no. Tries it again, has it rejected. Tiara McCowan rejecting Angel Reese. Not against Tiara McCowan. McCowan with 2 blocks. The wings already with 5. Segrist. Tough shot. Tiara McCowan got it. No basket. Foul before the shot, says Angelica suffering. That'll be a foul on Elizabeth Williams. That'll be her 2nd personal foul. And again, T. Witherspoon also playing with injuries. You take a look at Isabel Harrison. She is out. Camila Cardosa, she is out with a shoulder surgery after the shoulder surgery. Segrist, no. But I love talking to the team over the last couple of days, and T told us, he goes, Cardosa's a quick healer. She may be back sooner than you think. That will change the look of this team big time.
Gives them a whole different look, more dominant in the post.
And Enrique is going to be whistled for the foul. There's Emmy. Very special relationship with her older sister, JC Sheldon. After the next timeout, we'll come back and JC will tell us about that. Evans gets the jumper in the lead, cut back down to 4. Wings trying to go 2-0 to begin the season for the 2nd year in a row. Enrique just lost the handle. Look at Diamond Shields running the floor. Can't track it down. And with that, we'll take a break. Wings lead it by 4. Coming up after the break, JC talks about Emmy. Loose, they're going to tie it up. It's going to be a jump ball. Good hustle by the Sky. And that's one of the things T. Witherspoon said after Wednesday's game. We got to find a way to come up with more loose balls.
He said that today as well. You know, we just got to get more loose, our hands on balls, more balls.
I'll tell you, I've always said that teams will take on the personality of their coach. She was an incredible defensive player in college, at Louisiana Tech, and in the W.
Yep, Defensive Player of the Year several times, leader on that New York Liberty team. Yes, that's her trademark.
Member of Louisiana Tech Hall of Fame.
Coached at Louisiana Tech.
2009 to 2014, also was an assistant coach with New Orleans of the NBA, member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, was inducted in that 2019. That goes against Dallas. And it'll be the Sky's ball, closing in on 5 minutes to play here in the opening half. Dallas has turned the ball over 9 times already.
Nice pass.
Nice pass, Williams, no. Nice box out, Maddie Segrist.
Great box out. Fortunately,
stepped out of bounds. It'll be Chicago's ball, 14 on the shot clock. Stephanie Suarez quickly up off the Wings bench. She'll come back in. And Maddie Segrist will take a little seat. Maddie's the kind of player, too, and we've gotten to know over the last 2 years. Doesn't matter if she's starting, coming off the bench, playing 1 minute or 30 minutes. She's going to come back in and give the effort. We know that. 5 to shoot. Diamond for 3. Yes, Diamond's got it.
Dagger.
Wings have only hit 2 of 7 field goals attempts in this quarter. Diamond Shields, her first 3-pointer of the year. McCowan wants it, not going to get it. Lou Lopez Seneschal with the rebound. Enrique being guarded by Turner. 5 to shoot. Enrique, they got a piece of it taken away up ahead to the Shields. Chance for Chicago to take the lead. Whistle and a foul. Let's check in with Siobhan Herndon.
Yeah, I was able to talk to Natasha Howard before the game, and she told me although she isn't playing, she's going to pour into much information into her teammates. As you can see, she was just sitting by Monique Billings, and Monique told me, like, hey, we're going to talk, and I'm going to feed off of her, and she's going to pour into me, and I'm going to soak it up like a sponge. As of yesterday, even Stephanie Suarez was saying how much Natasha Howard has been a part of this transition for her going into the starting lineup. She says, look, she's a veteran in this game. I'm going to learn from her, and I'm going to fill these shoes while she's out of this lineup.
Absolutely, Siobhan. You and I were at practice yesterday, and Natasha was coaching everybody up, as was Satu Sabali. Natasha said, just because I'm not playing doesn't mean I can't be part of this team. Third tie of the ball game.
Nice.
Now number 26, Sevuzen.
That was quintessential international basketball. There's something different about the way they play. I mean, beautiful footwork, nice cut to the basket.
The three, no. Enrique's got it. Uzen streaks down the court. Billings, no. Whistle and a foul, but how about the way Monique Billings ran the floor? I think that's what she said. Hustle, didn't she?
She did. Yeah, and that should signal to the post players that there's an opportunity. If you get behind the defense, good things are coming. This is just effort. This is effort. Young players out there, run the floor, run the rim. Good.
Released a book called Finding Balance. Actually, it was her dad that talked about finding balance with your mind, your body, and spirit.
Nice. I like that. I got to check that out.
You can go to MoniqueBillings.com.
I will do that.
I told her I was going to plug her website. The skincare queen, they used to call her. Dallas three-point advantage. Billings the rebound.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. Uses that little chicken wing to the hole. Can't get it. Suarez inside. Uzen for three.
All because Mo Billings took the ball to the hole. Early shot, but that means defense is not set up. You can get the rebound and make something good happen. And the kick out, oh, yeah, baby, they're loving it here in Dallas.
Hi, I'm mixed rookie guard saib.
Almost was a travel. Williams inside. Pierre McCowan altered that, and that'll belong to the Wings with 2:55 to play here in the opening half. I think one of the keys right now for Dallas, they only took 10 free throw attempts Wednesday. Last year they averaged 20 plus. They already have 10 free throw attempts in this game.
And they've made what? Let's see, they've attempted 10, made 9?
Yep. Whistle and a foul. Monique Billings has been active. Again, she didn't get into town until yesterday. Or Friday night, I should say. And then she had her physical yesterday.
Making the most of her time.
And here is Monique Billings. And if you're a kid who loves hoops, the Dallas Wings Youth Kickoff Clinic is for you. Camp is open. Kids 7 through 14. Going to take place on Monday, May 27th at Grand Prairie Family YMCA. It's only $40. Includes a ticket to a Wings game, prizes, and more. Visit DallasWings.com if you've got somebody in that age group. And the lead is stretched to 8. That is the biggest lead for either team. The floater, no. Williams kept it alive. Mabry left open for 3, no. Enrique battles for the rebound. Look at Billings run the floor again. Enrique. Billings for 3. Suarez offensive rebound and has it rejected.
Suarez actually had it open on the left side, and the spin, even though it was nice, was unnecessary on this rebound. Get the rebound, go up right there. Get the foul, head fake.
Boy, Elizabeth Williams just came up and really rejected that. 2:13 to play in the half. The Wings in game 1 Wednesday, they outscored Chicago every quarter but the first. Oh, Enrique got it! And Diamond says, hang on, that should have been a foul.
She felt that.
The lead is 10. Wings 16-10 run. Diamond tries to answer. No. Mabry down the tunnel. Beautiful pass inside.
Nice dive.
Marina Mabry with her 3rd assist of the ball game already. The shield stays with her, and we've got a whistle and a foul. Whoa, that's going to be a technical.
Whoa.
Diamond winged the ball over to the official. And Bianca Burns took a second, thought about it, then teed her up.
She did think about it for a second. You can see that moment like, did you? Okay, 10.
And I think when you look at Bianca Burns, she's also officiated in the NBA. She is an outstanding official who's come up through the ranks. And I like an official that takes that time to go, quick replay in the head.
Yeah, quick replay. Yes, I should call this. And she's one of those officials that will also let you talk to her, you know, if you don't understand something, if you disagree with the call. And not every official has that demeanor.
And Enrique, 12 points already in the ball game, as we mentioned at the top of the show, coming off that 25-point effort. And she has now moved in to number 4 overall in Wings history, passing Glory Johnson for free throws made. And the lead is 11, the biggest of the ball game. The shields on Billings. Nice job defensively. That's going to be a turnover. Evans stepped out of bounds.
I think the defense for the Dallas Wings has been outstanding. I mean, look at the free throw percentage, not the free throw, the field goal percentage. Yes, they have made them take some very tough shots.
Chicago only shooting 28%. They're 1 of 9 from 3. McCowan inside, uses the body. No, Williams had it, lost it to Mabry. Soon as Marina gets the ball, her head is always up looking for somebody.
Nice.
Williams in the tunnel, no. Uzun on the right side, spinning away. The shot for 3, can't get it. Billings the offensive rebound, Enrique, splash!
The difference in that shot and the shot she took 3 seconds earlier is feet set, form in place. That was her shot. The first one was a little squirt at the basket.
Here is Diamond baseline. They'll let her take it and got it. The Shields with a dozen in the ball game.
We should mention that Arika Gugawale has not been on the bench today.
No, she hasn't.
She's not left the floor.
And what did LT tell us?
Gonna try to manage her in practice because she's got to play a lot of minutes in the game.
Shot clock at 3 for Uzun. That'll be a shot clock violation. Ceeb was kind of put in a bad position. I mean, you weren't sure what you were going to get with from your bench again because of Natasha Howard out, Jaylen Brown out,
Satu Sabali out. Yeah, it was going to be like looking for the toy in a box of cereal.
I tell you, you look at the fact they add Monique Billings. That was huge. She runs the floor so well, and the Wings increase their lead. You know, Fred Williams, former Dallas Wings coach, now assistant at Auburn, just texted me. He goes, that's why the WNBA is so strong. You have injuries, you can still fill in with talented players. Thanks, Coach.
Lots of folks without jobs.
And Chicago answers. Okay, let's talk about Chicago right now. It starts, I would have to think, on the defensive end for them.
It does start on the defensive end. That's a lot of their identity. But I like what Teresa Weatherspoon said in the press room early, and that's that Dana Evans has to not take herself out of the scoring role when she's playing point.
Marina Mabry buries the 3.
And she says, finally.
First half was 0 for 5 shooting. And by the way, Billings getting the start here in quarter number 3. Dangerous pass. And Williams is going to pick up the foul. That is going to be costly. That'll be her 3rd.
Now we've got to ask Tierra afterwards, was that a little bit of Oscar-winning performance there? A little pirouette, even out at the end. I mean, come on, T.
You got to sell it.
You must. It is a must.
I should have an acting class for all players. Here's
How you
Uzun.
do this.
Enrique for three, rattles it home.
Come on, Enrique.
She's just showing up.
Stop it. Yes.
21 for Enrique. Again, the Wings have led by as many as 14. The biggest lead for Chicago was 5. Mabry turns on Enrique.
That's tough.
Looks at her in your face. You know, we used to love to go to practice when Marina was here with the Wings. She and Enrique would go at each other, and it was fun to watch. Look at Mabry running the floor for the layup. Counted. Good job, Marina Mabry.
Crazy how Mo Billings almost caught her. The sprint down. One more second, she would have caught her.
Already 7 in the quarter for Marina Mabry. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. That's going to be on Mabry. And that'll be her second personal foul. So Marina Mabry was 7 of the 9 points for Chicago here in the third.
Nice little curl right there.
Oh boy, Kalani Brown wanted it. Enrique got the 3 again.
Quit it. Quit it.
And then the steal. Enrique 5 of 8 from beyond the arc, 24 points. Inside Billings, tried to shuffle it inside to Brown, turns it over. Evans will settle things down. Evans 4 points in that opening half, 3 assists.
I like that.
Exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah. Sometimes when you play point, you're too unselfish. You're getting everybody else the ball. You're distributing the basketball. And Dana Evans is a mighty shooting guard. She can score off the bounce. Did that, made a living at Louisville, and really has the opportunity to do that here in the WNBA, but sometimes she loses herself in that point guard position.
Well, Teaspoon was telling us before the game they're doing what they asked her to do.
Yep.
She wants to make sure, Dana does, that everybody touches the basketball, but sometimes you got to be a little selfish.
You do. When you have those kinds of skills, you absolutely need to look for yours.
Seb Uzun will go out. J.C. Sheldon back in. Sheldon 4 points in the opening half. A new career high. Of course, it's only been 2 games, but
still.
No, I'm going to give it out. Give it a little shout out to her.
Give it a shout out.
Nice job, Evans. Sheldon lost it. The turnover. To Shields, to Evans. Back to Devin. Nice touch pass inside Diamond to Shields. 14 for DeShields. She has 6 of the 16 field goals made by Chicago. Mabry picks the pocket of Enrique. On the drive, no. Tips it to DeShields, no. DeShields comes up with it. Mabry wants it. Enrique touched it. Chicago ball.
Teresa Weatherspoon is a prankster. Believe me, when she went over with Enrique Ogunbowale, she whispered something nutty in her ear, for sure.
Well, Enrique started laughing.
Yeah.
I like the one-on-one battle we're seeing with Enrique and Marina Mabry. They had a huge collision on Wednesday. Evans rattles it. But they're going to call that an offensive foul. Coach Weatherspoon does not like that.
Let's take a look at this. I don't know about that one.
They're going to call it, I think, on Reese.
Oh, okay. I thought they called it on. No, that's a different play. The play is Dana Evans stepping through. There was contact, but I don't think it was by the offensive player.
Marina Mabry wants an explanation. And that was a foul. They're going to call it now on Williams. That'll be, or check that, Angel Reese. That is her 4th personal foul.
Kalani?
Williams now picks up the foul. That'll be her 4th. Angel Reese is going to have to go out. 4 personal fouls in the ball game. Reese only 4 points, has not hit a field goal, 0 for 5, does have 5 rebounds.
This is one of the areas that Angel Reese will have to develop as a WNBA player, and that is some sort of offensive game. I mean, she's amazing off the boards. She's great energy, great passion, but to score in this league, she's going to have to develop a face-up game. 6 to 12 footer, great footwork on the block.
And now Teaspoon's got to take 2 of her starters out in Williams and Reese because of foul problems. Kalani Brown at the line. Good first half for Kalani, 8 points. And that hurts. You're taking 2 bigs out of the lineup. But the lead is only 6. In case you just joined us, Dallas led at intermission by 12. Marina Mabry has led the comeback, scoreless in the first half.
Hustle.
That's a call to hustle play. That is vintage Marina. Baseline, little jumper, no. Sheldon comes up with a loose ball. Tell you just get mesmerized watching Marina as the pass way too high because she does so many little things that you don't see a whole lot of times. Coming up in just a little bit, we're going to be joined by a Hall of Famer, Nancy Lieberman. Also be calling games with us this season. Will be joining us. Diamond to Shields, counted, and she'll go to the line.
This is brute force and will by Diamond DeShields. Here with nice pull it through, absorb the contact, and 1.
Chicago has outscored Dallas 17-9 here in the third, and Diamond DeShields 16 points in the ball game. Had 14 on Wednesday. Wednesday was her first game back in the league since 2022. Enrique, 1-on-3. The pull-up, the 3. Segrist with the foul, got it. Hustle play, Maddie Segrist. Evans. Nice defense, Sheldon. Kalani the board. Halfway home here in quarter number 3.
Nice pass.
Maddie launches. Watching Maddie Segrist and the rest of the rookie class, yesterday after practice, they spent 30-35 minutes shooting extra with assistant coach Jasmine Thomas. Maddie makes that shot 9 out of 10 times. Evans uses that shoulder. Sheldon takes it away. 3-on-1. Sheldon, Segrist to the hole.
That was an all-rookie, no, 2 rookies. 2 rookies and a sophomore break.
You like it. Mabry. That's going to be a pick set by Turner, and that'll be an offensive foul. And Enrique making sure the jaw still works. We've got a timeout. 4:14 to play in the third. J.C. Sheldon, nice job. You know, when you heard that obviously Natasha Harris is going to be out 3 to 6 weeks with that broken foot, what was your first thought? Because, you know, LT, I think there was a case of shock at first to hear that with Satu being out and Jaylen Brown. What was your first thought?
A disappointment because I was with her at the Mavs game the other day when you guys were up in the suite. And, you know, she just was so excited about this season. So as a veteran, to now know that you're not going to be back for, you know, 4, 5, 6 weeks is heartbreaking.
Marina Mabry picks up the foul. That'll be her 3rd personal foul. But the fact we're seeing players like Stephanie Suarez and Maddie Segrist and J.C. Sheldon step in, and Sev Uzin step into the lineup, they've never been in this situation before, and now the spotlight is on them, and I think right now you have to give them a pretty good grade.
Well, I give them a great grade. I'm watching J.C. Sheldon. I watched her during the season. She's quicker than I thought. She has great angles, anticipation defensively. she's kind of stealth-like. I wasn't like that. I don't know if Fran was. Maybe Fran was stealth-like. We were just bullies.
We were just bullies, and we're going to shoot the basketball. That's what we're going to do.
But, you know, you have Kalani, and then you have Atera, you have Big. You can change the lineups. There's a lot of things that Coach can do. She's really good. I don't think people realize how good a coach LT is.
Yeah, she understands personnel so well. Looking at the players who are now getting the opportunity, Nancy, what were your thoughts on the Suarez in terms of her ability to help this current version of the Dallas Wings?
Well, every year you have an evolution of who you are, right? I don't think anybody's in the portal, right?
Yeah, right.
So,
yeah.
you know, this is where Greg Bibb gets so much credit, because he not only runs the organization, but he knows the heck out of basketball.
Yes.
So he knows the right pieces that they need. And you can go big, you can go small, you can put shooters on the floor, you can speed it up, you know, with your lineup. I mean, it's nice to have that flexibility. And, you know, when I was talking to Maddie the other day up in the suite, it was the first time we ever spoke. And I just said, you know, last year was your learning. Now you have to actually have some actionary, you know, statistics on the court. I mean, this is your year to shine.
Yeah.
So she knew that, and, you know, everybody loves to have minutes. If you don't get minutes, you can't show what you can do.
Well, Kaiser Gondrezick has checked into the lineup for Chicago. Her first appearance back in the WNBA in a couple of years. She was drafted out of West Virginia, first round 2021. Fourth pick overall by Indiana, but hasn't played the last couple of years. Kalani Brown. And we were talking about Kalani Brown and I chatting yesterday. She was hoping to get more minutes tonight. She's not only getting more minutes, but she's producing as Kennedy Carter can't get the layup.
Well, Kalani Brown, when I saw her, we were talking, the first thing she says to me, and I'm thinking, Fran, she knows me. She knows the history of the game. She goes, hey, how's TJ? And I go, how do you know my son? Oh, yeah, we were in Israel together playing basketball, and we all were hanging out and going to dinner.
Wow.
And I was like, what am I, chopped liver?
Yeah, really.
And she goes, you know, can I get TJ's phone number?
Right.
So, you know, very humbling.
Well, you know, we saw Chicago, after trailing by a bunch in the first half, cut the lead to 4 at 51-47. Now it is an 8-point advantage by Dallas with Kalani Brown doing her part. 11 points, 6 rebounds for Kalani Brown. That's in only 12 minutes. A couple of news.
Thank you for the beginning.
Well, from the beginning. Fourth consecutive sellout. That's going to be an offensive foul on Kalani Brown. She doesn't like it. But what I like is when I walked in earlier today, they had food trucks outside. They had games for kids outside. Here's the play on Kalani.
A little shove at the beginning of it, probably, yeah. It's all right.
Yeah,
I like that.
Physicality of the game, but I'm going to still go back to the defense of this team. They're doing a great job of trapping the box. I don't know. I mean, I think the Sky are probably shooting in the 30s. Let me look at the stat sheet, 34%, 18% from 3. That says you're contesting shots, side contest, front contest, and
what a pass, Kalani Brown.
Okay, they had that play in when Fran and I were playing. It's called a give and go.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're still running it.
They're running it. Still working. It's still working. Oh.
That pass is just going to be thrown away. It'll be last touch, and we had quite a collision on the inside. You don't want to see that. Kalani Brown grabbing the left calf. Allison Russell, the trainer, Latricia Trammell, the coach, both come running out.
You know, you only can pray that when two great teams come together and play, that nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt. Yeah.
Nobody gets hurt. I mean, you know, I look at Satu not being able to play right now, and Jalen, you mentioned. Howard. Oh, yeah, this is just...
Now Diamond just kind of fell into her. Then she twists
and
awkwardly.
her foot is still there. Bad when your body goes one direction and your foot stays somewhere else.
Yeah. We get an update, we'll definitely pass it on to you, but Tierra McCowan has checked back into the lineup for Dallas. It's the last thing they need is another big, because we were talking, Fran and I were talking before the game. Dallas has the luxury that I don't think any other WNBA team has. They've got bigs where they can keep bringing them in. You know, Fran, you might want to expound on the point you were talking about earlier today.
Yeah, I mean, who's got 6'7", 6'7", 6'5", 6'5", 6? I mean, nobody has that, and they're all different, so they're not even the same variety of big.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I guess I didn't realize how big until I was in the suite the other night, and you know, I went to the chiropractor the next day because my hip hurt.
Well, you can rep the ladies wherever you go. Head to Dallas Wings.
Series called A League of Our Own.
I like that.
Auntie's in it, because I make her be in things.
Yeah, she texted me. She goes, "You're going to do this."
We've called in favors. We all do that.
That's right. And I go, stop yelling at the elderly.
I like it. Closing in on 1 minute to play here in the third. The lead is 10 after Chicago had cut it to 4.
Yeah, just make sure you're getting good shots, you know, within the shot clock, not turning it over. And then you can live with that.
Yeah.
Because now they've got a runner possession and you can set your defense.
Tough shot for Maddie Siegrist, but we know she can make that shot. Marina Mabry throws it into the hands of Enrique.
But that play was made by Tara because she trapped the box. She rotated over early for help.
Enrique has not sat down in this game yet. Can't get it to go.
No, but she does owe me a pair of sneakers, by the way.
There's some sneaker candy out there for sure.
Kaiser Gondrzick with her first WNBA points this season.
That's the thing. You can't just let them get runouts. You got to make them actually use clock.
She's mainly was known as a three-point shooter back in 2021. 60% of her shots were from beyond the arc. Final 9 seconds. Shot clock, game clock about the same.
Go up.
McCowan, no. Maddie pokes it away into the hands of Chicago with 3, 2, in and out. Onyenwere thought she had it. Nancy, we appreciate you stopping by. We look forward to having games with you during the season, and you're taking my M&Ms.
I am. Thank you for having me, and thank you for Bob and Jagu and everybody in the truck.
All right. Fourth quarter coming up on the other side of the break. The Wings holding on to that 8-point advantage.
We're back here at College Park Center where the Wings were up 63-55. Coach, at halftime you addressed your team and said you wanted them to be more aggressive on defense and clean up some of those defensive strategies. How have they been able to answer that call?
Well, I think they've done moments of it. They looked really brilliant, right? But I think a little bit there at the end, they kind of got stagnant, a little tired. And so I've got to utilize my timeouts a little bit more, and we're down another body, so we just got to hold strong.
Coach, good luck in that fourth quarter. And guys, just an update on Kalani Brown. Looks like head trainer Allison was rubbing that right knee while she was sitting on the bench. She has escorted Kalani back into the locker room, and I'll stay on top of that as we get more information.
All right, thanks so much, Siobhan. We head to the final stanza. Dallas Wings on top. Marina Mabry with a 3.
You notice what Chicago has done. They've taken Mabry out of the primary ball handling role. That's freed her up to think more like a scorer and a shooter, and she's been fantastic in the last 2 quarters.
Wings have got to be careful. Chicago hanging around, and they get the steal. Diamond to Shields. And she coughs it back up. Uzin to Enrique. On the drive, can't get it, tipped. Mabry comes down with it. Kalani is set to check back into the lineup. Marina from way downtown, no. Clips the front of the rim. Enrique on the break. Monique Billings runs the floor. Got it! What a job, Monique Billings.
And Ron, I have to say, she's given them another dimension. I talked about the bigs all being different. Monique Billings runs the floor, puts the pressure on the defense, and gets those easy runouts. We haven't seen Dallas's bigs do that.
And that's one of the reasons they brought her in. Inside, Angel Reese, the flip and got it. Reese's first field goal made of the ball game started 0 for 5.
And Angel Reese's fans are in the building, by the way, just so you know.
Reese playing with 4 personal fouls. On the drive, Billings can't get it. Diamond to Shields, and look at Reese running the floor. Enrique almost with the interception. Billings comes up with it.
Good hustle.
The spin move. Oh, little French
Come on now.
pastry, can't get it.
That was just tired. She was tired. That was a beautiful move. Just weren't able to get. She just wasn't able to get that off.
And again, Enrique has not sat down in this game, and she said after Wednesday's game, going into the final couple minutes, she was dead tired. Elizabeth Williams bangs it in.
65-62, Ron. I didn't realize it was that close.
And this is the closest that they have gotten since Dallas opened up their biggest lead of the game at 14. With that, we'll take a break. Chicago on a roll. 65-62, Wings lead. Last Chicago lead was in that opening quarter.
Good pass. Get up, big girl.
And that was a 12-10. And the foul after the miss by Kalani Brown. The foul is going to be on Kalani Brown. Look at it again. Kalani saying that she just banged a knee. That's why she went out. That's good news. And now, Chicago with an opportunity to tie or pull within one. Mabry lost it. 3 on the shot clock to Shields. With 2, the floater, no. Offensive rebound, kicks it out.
Nice.
Uzin with the steal. Enrique on Evans. They're going to call that an offensive foul on Enrique.
I'm going to need to see a replay on that, sir. This is a nice little maneuver here. Yeah, we got the push off. It's a new technique everybody's working on, but you got to be careful that it's not so obvious.
You can't do it in front of you.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
And
Good call.
And again, the Sky that have outscored the Wings in the second half. 32-23. Evans on top. Reese, no. Offensive rebound. Williams leads it. It's a one-point game, and she'll go to the line to tie it.
Do your work early here. Box out as the shot is going up, and you don't have to worry about Angel Reese or Elizabeth Williams on the backside coming for that rebound.
And here's Elizabeth Williams at the line. 12 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, with an opportunity to tie it up. Gets her own miss. On top, Mabry shuffles it over. Evans for 3. Offensive rebound, put back and a foul.
That's what she does. That is what she does. You have to be so deliberate to keep Angel Reese off the boards. That is how she's making her living in the WNBA. One of the most
Quarter. And they extend it to 2. Reese has 9 points, 6 rebounds, a couple of assists. Fourth quarter on Wednesday, it was all Dallas, outscoring Chicago 25-17. Flores. Inside. Here, McCowan, no. Rebound tipped into the hands of Williams, and Mabry's got it. One of the things that T. Witherspoon told us is they've got to execute their offense. That's going to be an offensive foul on Mabry.
Yep.
That'll be her fourth, but she said we didn't execute our offense efficiently in the fourth quarter on Wednesday. They have to do it tonight.
Yeah, that execution on offense late in the game is so critical because everybody's tired in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And if you can execute your schemes, do the little things, specialize in the intangibles, you will have a chance to win the game at the end, in the fourth quarter. And they've just stayed in there. You know, they could have folded their bags and headed to the charter or to the bus, and they stuck in there.
Well, Marina Mabry said we've got to be a lot more disciplined in the closing minutes of a game. J.C. Sheldon.
Nice move,
behind the back to the hole, can't get it. Rebound knocked around, still loose. McCowan comes up with it into Mabry's hands. Carter on the left.
Bad pass.
Carter, the quick move to counted. What a move, Kennedy Carter. And the lead is at 4. Enrique, no. Billings, the rebound, draws the foul. Wings have been outscored 14-2 here in the 4th.
You know, the pass wasn't great, but Kennedy Carter knows what to do with it. Off the bounce, absorb the contact, get the bucket. Metroplex girl.
You got it. One of the things you think about, the Wings are down numbers. Natasha Howard obviously out. Jaylen Brown, how's that going to play in the final 5 minutes? That's going to be a kick. Wings will have it. But, you know, when was that going to catch up?
Yes, yes.
Inside of 5 to play. Sheldon, Segrist thought about it. That's going to be an offensive foul on Tierra McCowan on the inside. That'll be her 3rd.
Get your teammate. You go get your teammate.
And she's going to get teed up.
You can't let that happen. Here, this is a good post, good pin. That is a foul.
It is a foul.
It is a foul. And then you don't add insult to injury. You go get your teammate. You know she's heated. You go and get her. Make sure she doesn't make it worse. You can't let that happen as a teammate.
Well, Satu Sabali talking to Tierra McCowan about it. And that is something that Kalani Brown told us during training camp. They've had a lot of talks with Tierra McCowan, and Tierra admits it. She goes,
yep,
I've got to keep my emotions in check because it could cost us.
Yeah, she said that on media day, on the content day, I should say.
Well, it was a foul.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
the lead goes to 5. At the end of 3, the Wings led it by 8, 63-55. Williams working on Kalani. The flick of the wrist, no. Enrique takes it away. Look at Segrist running the floor. Sheldon.
Nice.
Kalani. Nice job, Marina Mabry. The touchdown pass to Reese with the layup.
That's good. That's good defense.
The Wings have hit only 1 field goal attempt in this quarter.
Got to get a good shot. Every shot should not be difficult.
The Carter takes it up. Williams kicks it out. Sheldon posts it. That's going to be a foul on JC. Marina wanted more than just a foul. She looked at Angelica Sufford, gave the sign for the TTF, and Angelica goes, no. And Marina starts laughing.
You got to try it, though, right here.
that's pretty good. The smile after, though, was the best. 4:04 to play. The Wings have let their lead slip away. Chicago has outscored the Wings 17-2 in the 4th. They've showed discipline on offense. Reese, no. Whistle and a foul as Reese draws the contact.
Gotta check her out.
She's a perfect 5 for 5 from the stripe. Also just picked up her 8th rebound. Matches what she had on Wednesday.
Every team needs a player like Angel Reese, who is the cleanup woman.
Yeah.
She's just the cleanup woman. It ain't gonna be pretty. It might not be fundamental, but it gets done. She's committed to rebounding.
Teaspoon trying to get her first WNBA win. Billings gets shoved out of the way. That's going to be a loose ball foul. It'll go against, is it on Williams? And it will be on Elizabeth Williams. That'll be her fifth.
Loose ball foul by number 1, Elizabeth Williams. That is her fifth. Team foul number 2.
She can't believe it. We'll look at it again.
This is a good hustle by both teams, but that is definitely a push. And you know what I also like about that official? She just calmly made the call.
Has done a nice job tonight on the floor. Here is Enrique over Carter. Draws the contact and the foul. That'll be the third on Carter.
Don't foul a jump shooter.
Rule number 1 in junior high. I think everybody learned it.
Absolutely. Do not foul a jump shooter. Rule number 2, do not foul a jump shooting three-point shooter.
And Enrique will go to the line. 26 points for Enrique. $16 in the first half, 10 in the second. She put on the show on Wednesday with a huge fourth quarter. 17 in the fourth on Wednesday. Catch the Wings Insider Show all season on Valley Sports Southwest. Down with 3:37 to play. And Enrique will have another. Last year, 88% from the line. Gets all three. Lead cut to 4. Mabry. Carter from 17, nothing but the bottom of the net. She goes into double figures.
You know, Ron, I'm glad Kennedy Carter's back in the WNBA. Great young player. Rough start in the W. Got back. Good to see it. Good to see that, too.
The Wings needed that. And again, we saw it on Wednesday. Enrique, come on, just give me the ball.
The mid-range is just deadly. Deadly. Elevate over the defense, draw the foul, go to the line, get your and one. So tough.
Enrique, 31 points in the ball game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, add another to it. Enrique's career high, by the way, is 41. Less than 3 to play. Evans. Carter slashes to the hole. No.
Nice board.
Enrique goes down hard after the Billings rebound. Back pass Sevuzen. Tried to sneak it in to Kalani. 2.5 to play. Mabry the long 3. What a shot, Marina Mabry.
Wow. That was tough.
Marina Mabry, no points in the first half. 14 in the second half. The lead is 6.
Come on.
And Enrique.
That's how you feel, Enrique Agubawale? Stop it.
It is loud in the College Park Center. The lead is cut down to 3. Marina again, no rebound.
Board, gotta have that board.
Uzen had it, lost it. Jump ball's going to be called with 1:44 to play. Nice hustle by Stephanie Suarez. And we're going to get a timeout. 1:44 to play in the ball game. Dallas with 2 timeouts left. Chicago with 4. The lead of the Sky is 3. In the fourth quarter, the Dallas Wings shooting just 21%. Chicago with 53%. Enrique keeping him in the game with 35.
Well, her high is what, 41?
Yep, 41.
144. That's about right. She's got time.
You got him, yeah.
In Enrique land, that's plenty of time.
Enrique put the team on her back on Wednesday.
Built for it. Built for it. She is a tremendous talent. Enrique is 9 of 26 right now, but 11 of 11 from the free throw line, 6 of 12 from three-point land, and in her building, so anything can happen.
9 points in the fourth quarter for Enrique. Williams with a quick jump wins the tip.
You can't let
Kennedy Carter slips away from Sevuzen.
It's a good play.
Carter goes into double figures. 4 players in double figures for Chicago. Only 2 for the Wings. Evans on Enrique, steps in.
Hit the boards. You have to hit the boards.
Chicago out rebounding Dallas by 1. That's going to be a foul on Enrique, who's frustrated with herself. You know, one of the things you look at game number 1 is that Dallas dominated points in the paint, but tonight, how about Chicago? They're plus 22 points in the paint. Dallas was plus 18, 60 to 42 in game number 1.
Yeah.
And they can add to it with 69 seconds left. Dana Evans hasn't missed a free throw yet this season, 5 for 5. Billings goes out for Dallas. Plenty of time left. Dallas with 2 timeouts. Chicago with 2. Enrique. Suarez. Maddie Seacrest rejected by Williams. Her 5th block of the game. That was sweet. Nine on the shot clock for Dallas. Carter steps in front of Enrique. Last touch by Kennedy Carter. Dallas will have 8 to shoot.
So I think you have to have a quick hitter here. You know, it's difficult with so little time left to expect someone to make something happen off of a dribble.
And Dallas turns it over. We're inside of 50 to play. Now things get tough. If this holds up, this will be a huge bounce-back game for Teresa Weatherspoon and the Chicago Sky.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. They looked a little dead in the third quarter. Really fought back.
It would be her first WNBA win. Coach Spoon talking about how we're growing. Each practice, they keep getting better. People always talk about finding their identity, and Coach Spoon is not worried about that. She goes, we will get it. We just need to keep working, getting comfortable with each other, finding common ground with each other, players and coaches both.
Yeah, she said, you know, we got to get healthy, too. We got to get healthy. We got to get to know each other. It's very early in the season. She's not concerned about all the things that most media folks are concerned about with the Chicago Sky.
That was a reset timeout. No substitutions. It allows you to move the ball up court. There's no 20s anymore in the W. Seacrest fights for it. Mabry comes up with it as we go inside of 30 seconds to play. So it looks like the Chicago Sky will get their first win of the season. And the Dallas Wings shorthanded. Without Natasha Howard, Jaylen Brown, Satu Sabali will drop their first game of the year.
Tough one.
40% shooting for Chicago. They came alive in the fourth quarter. That's been the key to them. They've outscored Dallas by 17 in the fourth. Now Teaspoon said we got to execute better in the fourth. They've done that. J.C. Sheldon will run out the clock.